Hey, what is going on, guys? Pineapple Sway here. Today I'm bringing you guys a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. And this is going to be 5 things I wish I knew before playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So these 5 things will be something that will basically help new players that may not be aware of these things, that might be, buying the game, sort of not sure what to expect. And this video is basically being made to sort of prepare you for what's to come for such an interesting game, to say the least. And starting with the number one thing is you need to beat the campaign to unlock the Nexus and DLC characters. As you can see right here, I am in the Nexus right now. And basically to unlock this, you need to beat the main campaign. However, the game doesn't say that. It doesn't even mention that. It just makes it seem like you can just unlock these DLC characters at any given moment, but you need to beat the main campaign first. However, there is a workaround around this. Not really a workaround. It's just if you want to spend $10, you can unlock a character of your choice right off the bat. However, I would not recommend it. The campaign is probably the shortest it's ever been in this Arkham franchise, so you can beat the campaign relatively quickly. You defeat Brainiac 1 in Finite Crisis, and then you move on to the Nexus in Episode 1 Fear, and then eventually, you'll be able to sort of get that figured out. And also, too, the game doesn't say it as well, but after you beat the campaign, how do you switch into the Nexus? You're just going to want to click on game mode, and then you can click between Finite Crisis and the number 2 on our list is the offline mode profile. Probably the most confusing thing in this game, because you can just delete your progress just like that and it will be completely wiped. Since I know a lot of people originally wanted this game to have an offline mode. However, to say it truthfully, the offline mode is probably the most useless thing in this game. Since it can just screw up your game at any given time, and sort of I wish I knew more about that, because I even know too for myself, I made a video about how to access the offline mode, and I felt bad because I didn't really know how to use it, and a lot of people ended up losing their profiles when they were creating an offline mode, an offline profile. And now it's just something to be mindful of, is when you start this game, is just be mindful of what exactly you're doing when you're creating your offline profile. Please be mindful, please read. I can't stress that enough. As you can see right here, here's my online profile, and then here is my offline profile. Just for the sake of the video, I'm not going to touch anything, but if you're basically just starting out and playing this game and you just beat that game in online mode, it's going to say here in your offline profile, create new profile or something along those lines, and you're going to want to create it, but copy your online profile. However, if you want to start over the game, you can in offline mode without it affecting your online mode profile. So, does that make sense? But a lot of the times people just kind of read through and just click through, and then accidentally will delete both profiles, or put a new profile on the offline profile. So just something like that. Next, the number 3, the third thing here is that skins in different outfits are super expensive. Coming into this game, before it came out, they didn't really give us a estimate of how much skins were going to be. They just said, they will cost money, and it would function in an in-game store. Obviously, as you can see on the screen, I'm in the game's offline version, so I don't have the in-game store. But just be mindful that if you are new to this game, or new to this franchise, if you haven't played the Arkham franchise, or if you're just kind of new to the looter shooter genre in general, a live service game, these skins are expensive, and I don't recommend buying them. For myself, I bought almost every skin in the game because I was creating content for this game, so it was just for content purposes. But if you're just a normal person, especially if you're a kid playing this game, if you're a teenager, it's not worth, because every outfit, you can see here, basically has a $20 price tag, except certain outfits that are free, and some outfits are $10 instead of $20. But coming from Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, or Arkham Asylum, we all remember back in the day when a skin pack, which would give us 8 skins, costed $1.99. And now here we are in Kill the Justice League, where a singular skin is 20 bucks. So be mindful of, what you're spending. And I don't even mean this as like a joke, but it's just like, you don't want to accidentally buy something that's a little too expensive, especially too, like for kids out there and whatnot. You just got to be a little mindful, because also too, it can get a little confusing, because it's much like, the V-Buck system in Fortnite, because you're buying Lex coins, and sometimes you don't really know like exactly what that can mean, because it doesn't say like an actual dollar price. If that makes sense. I know what I'm saying is like completely stupid and probably irrelevant to 100% of the people watching this video, but just be mindful that like the skins in the in-game store are expensive. Number 4 is battle pass grinding. I wish I knew this back when the game came out, because it would have saved me so much time. We are in the offline mode, so we do not have access to the battle pass, but if you are looking for something to grind and get easy battle pass levels, and I'm talking about maxing out your battle pass in 30 minutes, your best way about that, believe it or not, is doing killing time, but not just any killing time. And I'm referring to episode 4 killing time, the Captain Cold themed season. For some reason, the killing time on this one is super glitched, so you just get a ton of battle pass XP and really just a ton of boosted resources in general. It was never fixed, it was never patched, and in all honesty, I found out about it way too late. I grinded all of my battle passes legitimately, and I spent way too much time getting those battle passes finished and completed. I don't regret it though, but if I would have known about this, man, it would have saved me a good amount of time, which is why I'm telling you this right now. If you're new to the game and you want to grind these battle passes, this is your best bet. Obviously, like what I said, you need to beat the main campaign first before really even messing with that stuff, but this will save you a ton of time and a ton of resources in the long run just by doing this. You could probably finish all 4 battle passes in like 2 hours, and then you have all the cool costumes, all the Lex coins and whatnot, so on and so forth. And also too, speaking of battle passes, if you pre-order, or technically you can't pre-order the game anymore, if you bought the deluxe edition, let me rephrase that, you get a battle pass coin, and you can use that coin on any battle pass, believe it or not. So there's that little bonus. And then lastly, the last thing on our list, which a lot of people still don't know to this day, and I didn't know it myself, is that Season 0, Episode 0, so Finite Crisis, and Episode 1, Fear, do not have any corrupted gear. So there's no point in repeating the Brainiac boss over and over and over to get corrupted gear. You're going to be chasing nothing. So please be mindful of that. I have comments from time to time that'll be like, hey, I was grinding the Brainiac boss in Finite and Fear, and I didn't get any corrupted drops. Why is that? Well, because it doesn't exist. So, yeah. Obviously, I don't know why they didn't put corrupted gear in those seasons, but obviously I'm not a developer. So, yeah. That's basically about it. That's 5 things I wish I knew before playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. If this video helps anybody out, please let me know. And if you guys want to see more stuff like this, just little tips to help you, really have the best experience when playing this game, please let me know. All feedback is appreciated. Even, constructive criticism, helps me become a better content creator in the long run. So anyways, though, this is Pineapple Sway. Please consider liking and subscribing. I will see you guys next time.